Hey, it's Lenny McGill with the GlockStore Performance and Custom Shop here in San Diego, California. And today I want to talk about improving accuracy and speed when shooting your Glock 26, 27, or 33, also known as the subcompact Glocks, or commonly referred to as a mini Glock. And this is the mini Glock. And well, a lot of people really like this gun because of its small size. You know, it's really concealable. The downside of this gun, in my mind, is the short grip. Remember, in my mind, accuracy starts with the grip, and accuracy really continues with the grip. So let me kind of flesh that out for you. So the more consistent your grip, the more consistently you point the gun downrange, the more consistent the sights line up, the more consistent your shots will be. Now that's the start of the shot. As you shoot multiple shots, often people will find that their hand is rotating a little bit or moving a little bit as the gun, vibrates and recoils. And hence, if you don't have a good grip on the gun, the grip will deteriorate, and hence your accuracy downrange will also suffer because your grip is not the same. And as you point the gun downrange, no matter what you think, it's not consistent. And so hence you're gonna have inconsistent shots. The solution is to improve your grip. And of course you can do that physically by really grasping hard here and about 80% with this right hand, but 100% with that left hand to really get a good grip on it. The problem again with this 26, 27, and the 33s, the mini Glocks, are that your hand falls off it with the standard magazine installed. And I've got a little red base plate on here so you can see how tiny that is. So when I hold the gun, you'll notice it's really a two-finger gun. And let me do it here in my left hand so you can get a little better view. The pinky just falls off. And everybody knows this. This is not science here. This is just like, oh, wow, great gun. But in fact, when we put this gun in people's hands, they really like it, except it just feels kind of top heavy because there's really nothing down below to support it. So everybody says, oh, no, I like the 19 better because it's more balanced. And it is more balanced. Again, lacking the grip here, you just don't have that same feel to it. Now, this is my 27. I've kind of done a couple different things to it. Obviously, I got the pyramid trigger in there. Shorter, crisper, lighter trigger pull. It's great. I've got a BEAVERTAIL grip adapter on there, so I can get my hand up nice and high on it without getting bit. I've got some night sights on it, and custom slide cover plate. Some other neat things I've done. And I typically run mine with an X grip. X grip is a little sleeve that goes around the magazine. Now this is a Glock 23 magazine into my Glock 27. Hence, it gives me that mid-size grip. You can see how great it really fits my hand. With the mini slide. Great package. But today we want to talk about something different. A lot of guys don't like these sleeves. They say, I'm not really, it's not my thing. But, there is another option, and there's a really good option, and that is what we call the magazine extensions. And the extensions can do a couple things. One, give you a pinky extension with no extra rounds. Or you can get an extension that actually adds up to 2 and even 3 rounds of 9mm. So depending upon which gun you have. So if it's a 9mm, you can add 3 rounds. If it's a 40, you'd add 2. But the extensions slip on the bottom of your magazine like this. So if you notice, this is a Pearce grip extension. They're plastic, relatively inexpensive. They live on the magazine. We replace the base plate with this, and when they go in, hence, you have a fingertip extension. Not quite as large as the magazine sleeve that we just demonstrated earlier, but a pretty good example of how you can get a better grip on here. And I guarantee you, if you have a better grip, you're gonna have better accuracy. Now, the Pearce grips are available in a variety of different configurations. We got +0, they've got an extra large +0, then they have a +2, and then they have a +3, and so there's a whole bunch of different ones. But the installation for those is basically the same, and I want to demonstrate that installation real quick. So first and foremost, here's a factory Glock magazine. You can notice that the factory Glock magazine is for a Glock 26, 9mm, 10 rounds. I'm going to go ahead and take off the base plate using our MDT, which is our magazine disassembly tool. This little device is super cool, and it really makes it a lot easier than the old days when we used to use a punch. The old days we would take our punch, get in here, depress the punch into the hole, push that down and then muscle this off. Oftentimes I would bend the punch. That's how tough they are sometimes. They're especially tough when they're brand new because it's plastic and you have these two little ears that kind of hold the magazine in place, the magazine base plate in place. And because of that, the first time is a little bit difficult. It does loosen up after that first time, but this first time is usually much more difficult than normal. So this tool makes it a lot easier. So watch this. So I'm going to use the leverage. It's almost like a can opener. I put the post into, let's see if you can see that post. Yes, you can. Okay. I'm going to put the post into the hole right here in the magazine. All right. And then it's just a matter of levering it down, keeping the post in with my thumb and just cranking down like a can opener. And there it's halfway off. Now I want to leave it halfway off at this point because I want to make sure that I capture that spring, doesn't go flying across the room. So be very careful not to let this thing come all the way off. And if you do, capture it with your thumb so that again the spring and the insert plate, which is the plate that's inside there, you can actually see it right there, don't go flying across the room and or hit you in the face or someone else in the face. So be very careful, okay? So my suggestion is that you kind of pre-stage the device that you want to install. So I've got a couple here. This is called the 26XL. It's a Pearce 26XL. It does not have any extra rounds. It's just an extension for the pinky. And for those of you in California and other states that have a 10-round limit, this would be the one you'd probably want to use because you certainly don't want to have more rounds than not. This one is called the 2733. Now this one's interesting, not quite as large in a sense. You can see the difference, but it is designed to add extra rounds. Okay, that's a plus version, so they had like 2 rounds of 9mm. And then, of course, there's another one here, and like I said, there's several of these, probably about 12 or 15 different varieties. This is the PG39, and this will add 3 rounds. You can see it's a little bit larger. It comes with an insert cup that's going to grab hold of the spring. So I'll go ahead and install this one, and you'll notice if you see these slots here on the side, they correspond to some ridges inside the actual extension itself. So that actually locks it into place there. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to install this guy. I'm going to give myself a little bit of extra capacity and also demonstrate the installation. So again, I've used my MDT to loosen this guy off, which is the base plate itself, the factory base plate. Now I'm going to put my thumb over top of that insert plate, and I'm going to go ahead and just thumb this thing off here a little bit. And as it comes off slowly, I'm keeping my thumb on top, and I'm going to capture the spring and the insert plate with my thumb, like so. And then I'm going to release it slowly. And here comes what they call the insert plate. Now take a look at this real quick. These are really kind of magazine specific too. Sometimes they're not going to fit in every different gun. I think they're different calibers. Like the larger magazines would have a different size. But this insert plate actually has the post that intersects with the hole in the base plate, and that's what keeps your magazine secure from kind of busting apart when it gets a whole bunch of rounds to it. You're also going to notice here on the side of the magazine those 2 little ears we talked about. Those are the plastic ears, and they actually intersect with the little detents here in the bottom of the base plate, the inside of the base plate. And another thing that kind of keeps the magazine together so it doesn't explode when you load it full of a whole bunch of magazines, it drops on the floor. So there's the factory pieces. Now these pieces are sold individually, by the way. I mean, they're cheap, but we do sell them because people lose them or break them. They're like $1.99. I think these are like $3.99. Now I'm going to just leave the spring in there. I guess I can take it out just to show you. There's the follower and this spring. And again, these are 2 separate pieces, and there's the magazine body. So there's the whole, nomenclature of this thing. You'll notice the follower only really goes in one way. If you try to put it in the wrong way, it won't really fit too well. It's not going to go up to the top there. So you can't really mess that up. It does capture itself into the spring just with a press fit. So there's no need to take that off. You'll notice it when you see it yourself. Put it in there, make sure it seats itself. It looks like it's going to work well. And now I've got to go ahead and get my cup orientated the right way. So again, front of the magazine is round. This is the front, goes like that. This guy goes like that, just to make sure I've got it all lined up. So now I take this guy, this insert cup, and place it over top of the spring. All right, let's go ahead like so. Here we go. Now, here's the hard part. Let's get this thing down here. and get it compressed. Okay, so I've got it compressed. Now I can take my extension and pop it over top here. And that's always a good sign when you hear that, because it sprung itself into the hole and looks like it's seated nicely. So that is the installation process of the Plus 3 magazine extension. And you'll notice now I will have a much better grip on this gun. And again, I guarantee with a better grip, more consistent grip, you're going to shoot more consistently, which is really basically more accurately. So there it is. So that's a great way to increase capacity, a great way to increase your grip, and certainly a great way to increase your accuracy and your speeds, because you'll be able to shoot faster. Again, keeping in mind, you want to have about 80% of your strength here. You don't want to grip this too tight, because you want that trigger finger to be loose so you can manipulate the trigger without any I guess binding up. If you really clench that too hard, sometimes it's hard to get that loose. So if you get that a little looser, you can really work that trigger faster and work the trigger finger faster. This left hand though is really the grip. So I really want to grip my grip. I want to use the left hand to grip the right hand and hold it tight, and then that trigger finger is kind of loose, and I can get in there and work it as fast as possible. And I personally, with the Glock, like to put my left thumb down here on front of that trigger guard area, so that I can really control the gun. And I find that this is the grip that I like the best, because it's consistent for me, but it also helps me control the gun. And then I really don't have to worry too much about recoil, especially with 9s and 40s. And just hold on and go. Just pull as fast as possible. So again, on our website, we've got a full selection of these Pearce grips that are available for a variety of different guns. One of the things that people don't know, because it's always sold as a pinky extension, is that these same grip extensions will also fit on your full-size 17 magazines for your Glock 17, okay, or your Glock 19. So if you want to add extra rounds to your Glock 17, you can add one of these simple grips, just the same process we just did. It's that easy. I mean, it really is. I mean, they just because they're really sold as a grip extension for the mini Glocks, the body of the magazine's the same. Everything's going to work the same. You're going to be able to add these to your full-size magazines and to your your compact magazines, and add extra rounds, or even a pinky extension if you have a Glock 19. You've got really monster hands. A lot of times, people's hands fall off of that. So we find that a lot of people don't know that you can use these for these different magazines, but now you do know. And if you're looking for extra rounds, this is a great way to do it. Inexpensive, fast, easy, and it does work. I'm Lenny McGill. This is the GlockStore Performance and Custom Shop here in San Diego. If you're ever in Southern California, please come down and see us, and I hope to see you here. Thanks for watching.